Hello, K-12 blended and online learning participants. I want to congratulate all of you on succeeding in week 4. This is our 4th wrap-up video for our class. I want to address what happened in our course this week. This week we lost a few classmates, but we still have over 1,600 active participants in the course. This past week we introduced you to technologies for K-12 blended or online classrooms, and we looked at strategies to find and judge high-quality digital learning objects. I know that many of you have been looking forward to this week, and we're happy to hear how much you enjoyed it. I want to get started by addressing one issue. If you think back to the quiz from week 3, we've decided to throw out one of the questions. The debate on the discussion forums were really the deciding factor. The question was the last question, and the best answer was collaborate. However, the debate regarding the best answer was lively, and great rationales for the other possible answers were shared. And so for this reason, we're going to throw the question out altogether. Fewer than 50% of you got this question right anyways, and that tells us that the alignment of the content and this particular question may have not been as clear as our other questions. We'll continue to keep an eye on this formative data. The week 4 mid-course quiz marks the halfway point of this course. And when it came to your scores, 650 of you made a first attempt on the quiz with a class average of over 91 out of 100. So as a whole group, you're still doing an excellent job on the quizzes. And this mid-course quiz counts for 20% of your final grade. The other 3 quizzes in weeks 1, 2, and 3 together only account for 10% of your grade. Many of you also completed the optional mid-assessment aligned to the INACOL standards for quality online teaching. And generally speaking, we saw course-wide improvements in your scores. The class average went from 119 to 175. That's a 56-point improvement, and we think it's perfectly appropriate. In weeks 1 through 4, we were only gaining the introductory knowledge of K-12 blended and online teaching. And starting this week, you'll begin doing the introductory work of the K-12 blended and online teacher. So find your thinking cap. The cognitive load of this course is about to get heavy. In the forums this week, it really became clear that we have participants that span the technology skill continuum. We have some, like Wayne Breslin, Patty Blanchard, and Jonathan Dietz, who are very savvy with web technologies, and they've created websites for their classrooms. We also have just as many who are relatively new to web development technologies, and they're just getting started through this course. I recommend that those of you who are new to website creation to start playing with tools like Weebly, Wikispaces, and Google Sites, because I'll ask you to use a web development tool of your choice in week 7. Now I want to point out some great threads. Jennifer Stone posted in the elementary board for week 4. She made a great point. She showed that digital content doesn't have to be professionally edited to be effective. And she mentioned using her iPad and the help of her husband to film a very basic video for her students to learn double-digit multiplication. Simone Heidrich, she shared her use of screencasts in the classroom and provided you with some great resources for taking video of your computer screen to help your students. Also, I enjoyed an extended discussion with Nancy Latimer, Valerie Weber, Cherry Crosby, and Helen Maddox about how we can reliably make instructional videos available on the web. In fact, I plan to turn these course materials into an open educational resource that all of you can access in the future. And this group helped me to start thinking through those plans. So thank you. Remember that you'll get as much value out of these boards as you put into them. I do want to give you one update related to the forums. I contacted the Coursera staff and they've assured me that the Coursera LMS will allow me to give you a grade that includes your anonymous posts in the discussion forum. This was not clear before, and so I erred on the side of caution. But now you can feel comfortable posting either way. Other students are the only people who can not identify someone who's posted anonymously. The teaching team will be able to attribute those messages to your account activity, and therefore they can contribute to your grade. While I can't respond to each individually on the discussion forums, those of you on Twitter or Edmodo are still having great luck at getting your questions directly to me, so keep them coming. I also appreciate those of you who find that your classmates need attention, and so you make an extra effort to grab my attention on Twitter. It's effective. Any of you can tweet me directly at Lokey Vega, and I saw most of those posts using one of our course hashtags as well. On Twitter this week, Dan Spurgeon and I discussed a variety of topics, ranging from the inequalities in K-12 education to the issue of overassessment. Dan and I seemed to agree on so much, and our conversation was fun. I think he's an idealist in the very best ways. Dan, thank you for your engaging conversation, and I look forward to more. If you haven't joined one of our social media tools, it's not required for the class, but it is a great way to feel more connected. I also want to publicly thank our guest expert this past week, Susan Oates. She took several questions about designing and developing curriculum online. She happens to work for Gwinnett Online Campus, who's a partner of ours in this MOOC and in our online teaching endorsement in the Bagwell College of Education at KSU. I really appreciate Gwinnett Online allowing her to participate this week as our guest expert. If you want to learn more about Gwinnett Online Campus, you can visit their website or find them on Twitter at Gwinnett Online. This upcoming week, Daniel Gagnon will be our guest expert. He's an AP economics teacher and department chair at Cherokee High School in Georgia. He's conducted research on the flipped classroom and served as an invited speaker on this topic at various events, so reach out to him at Gagnon3, which is spelled out in our Week 5 instructions. In Week 5, you have far fewer videos to watch and there is no quiz. In fact, this week, you have to start creating. That means your effort in this class is going to have to increase for the next 3 weeks, all the way through Week 7. So keep your thinking cap in easy reach. We're stretching to the highest levels of learning, and I've warned you several times that you need to set aside 10 hours to complete your assignments. You can do this. You've gained all the knowledge you need in the previous 4 weeks to get started. We're just making use of that knowledge now. This week, you'll complete your first active assignment, a syllabus for blended or online classrooms. Now, as a blended or online teacher, you won't always get to create the syllabus yourself, but this expert helps you set the stage for your classroom. It requires you to think about the policies and daily practices that will help your students be successful. You only need to spend an hour or 2 with the course materials and discussion forum this week because you're going to invest your time writing your syllabus. You need to carefully read the example, slowly start adding content to your syllabus template. I suggest starting with the sections you find easiest and check your work as you go using the evaluation checklist. To get extra help or to ask peers to give it a look, you're welcome to post a link to a draft in Google Docs or your questions in our optional discussion forum for the syllabus. Also, you can find help using our new and optional synchronous tool, Office Hours. Information about this tool was linked in midweek announcement and can also be found linked in the Week 5 instructions. At this point, your friends can still join the class, however, not for the purpose of earning a statement of accomplishment. They are welcome to join and complete any portion of the course that they like just for the sake of learning. If you have friends who want to be able to earn the statement of accomplishment, they may want to watch the class to be notified when it will be offered again. Once again, I want to thank my teaching team, Jordan, Josie, and Angie, for a great week. I especially want to thank each of you, again, for joining our community. I look forward to hearing from you in the discussion forums, Twitter, Edmodo, and now in Office Hours. Have a great Week 5. Bye, guys.